What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Bacon Saver video. Today we are talking about my toxic ex, Cardfight Vanguard. For those that don't know, Cardfight Vanguard was the first card game I ever played. It's what got me into card games, and like any toxic relationship, I just keep crawling right back, only to be disappointed yet again. But hey, it's that time of the year. Springfest is rolling around, and I want to play, so I figured I should probably look at the game again and see if it's not cringe anymore, which normally is not the case. But we recently had the winter product stream, which showed us the new series we're getting. This is almost like the G to D. It's weird. When I first saw the promo image, I legit thought this was Yu and we just got G-Nexted, but it's not. I looked at his eyes, they're red, and as far as I can remember, Yu's eyes are not red. So hopefully it's not Yu. It's not Yu. I can confirm it is not Yu. But with that, they revealed a bunch of new stuff, new guys, new cards, new mechanics, and I am going to give you my thoughts on all of it. Unlike the Yu-Gi-Oh content, and unlike the Shadowverse stuff, this is a game I've been playing since its inception, so I can actually offer some actual insight and commentary that is relevant, besides me going like, oh, it's progression, but I don't know how to play the card game, whoa! So let's talk about it. First up, we have totally not Yu, Miyoto Akina, sporting the United Sanctuary, rocking Destined of Miracles Raziel. A nice little Angel Feather naming convention. Is it going to do Angel Feather things? Probably not. Looking more like a paladin, but hey, cool angel representation. Always here for it. Angel Feather, RIP. You barely get any support. But, yeah, he's cool. He's just kind of a generic United Sanctuary guy. 7 out of 10. It's fine. I don't hate it. I don't love it either. Next up, we got this guy, Taizo Kiyokura. He was from the last show that I did not watch because I didn't like it. I think I got like halfway through season 2. Not a fan. Wasn't for me. So I don't think I ever met this dude, but he seems chill. He seems cool. It's more will+dress stuff. I like will+dress. Would I like to see a new Brantgate unit? Yeah, because I don't play will+dress. But hey, he's got big arms now, so that's pretty cool. 6 out of 10. will+dress fans, eating good. Next up, we got, for some reason, everyone's favorite Masanori. He's back for some reason. I don't know. Did he end up doing anything in the show? I don't think I ever got that far, but he kind of did nothing when I watched it. But maybe he's relevant now. I don't care. The problem is that now we have a new Zorga, and they've given him tentacles, so now all the Zorga freaks have gotten even worse, probably. So that's exciting. Can't wait to deal with that. But, you know, yo Zorga fans, you're eating good. Unfortunately good. I hate that this is good, but I think congratulations. 0 out of 10. I hate Zorga. When I was watching the stream, we got like almost to the end of the character reveals, and I was like, I wonder what Stoikea is gonna get. Totally forgetting that Zorga is a Stoikea unit. I just don't really count that in my mind, so that is a tragic L for the story boys out there. I'll go on record saying that I hate Zorga. But the next character is very, very cool. We have Inabe Nao. Finally, a woman that plays Dragon Empire. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure in the entire lifespan of Vanguard, we have not had a female Dragon Empire player. Correct me if I'm wrong. And no, the Kagero girl from Star Road Asuka doesn't count, because no one really even knows who that is. But ever since that came out, I was like, dang, a female Kagero player is really freaking cool. That would be hyped to see. And unfortunately, she's not rocking the Kagero. It is unmatched destined Varga Dragress, which is like a Murakumo looking dude, but he's still cool. He's fine. I would have liked it to be a dragon, but you know, it's still W Dragon Empire guy, so I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10. Go women. Next up, the only unit I have any interest whatsoever in building is Mikoto Saito's boss, ever-changing destined Kreesren. Kreesren? Kreesren. It's like Siren and Kreesren? I don't know. It's a tier element. It's a tier unit. It's tier. They put tier in Vanguard. And I'm going to play tier in Vanguard. And they gave it Labyrinth's color palette, but really, it's Labyrinth's color palette is just white. But really, they took tier and they took Labyrinth and smacked them together and they gave us this. And it's awesome, and I love her, and she's beautiful, and I'm going to build it. So now I have to pick up Lyrical Staples, which is fine, because I was going to have to do it anyway, because I'm building Herminia, because I love me some powerful units. 10 out of 10. Love this card. Excited to build it. Finally, we have the Dark States boy, Suo Yobitsugi, otherwise known as More Evil Koji Ibuki. And he's rocking Null Destined Bragdmeyer. This guy's cool. He's very Dark Statesy. It's very Daisuke Izukai. Oh. Wait a second. Upon further inspection, this is by Daisuke Izuka, so that's cool. That explains why it looks like his art. Unfortunately, it's not really in a good way. This very much feels like they went, hey, Daisuke, give us a Dark States unit. And he went, okay. There you go. It's fine. It's cool. It's Daisuke, so obviously it's cool, but like, man, I feel like he wasn't feeling this one. He was like, I'm gonna just draw a guy, and it's gonna be cool, but he's gonna be a spooky little guy. So I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10 Daisuke's. It's Daisuke. I love him, but I don't really love this unit that much. So those are the 6 bosses. You can find them in the 2 new booster sets, one of which contains the first 4. The second one contains the last 2, which is great because the last 2 are lame, so they have the lowest rating. So that's cool. But you will notice that, yes, Lyrical is in the main set. I don't know why everyone's so shocked. This feels like more of an about time thing, but I think that's very cool. Having all 6 nations in a set is very nice. Another W for the stream. So far, we are 2 for 2 on W's. New units look good. New set looks good. Can we make it worse? Probably. Let's find out. The first possible red flag for the new season is we get a new skill, a new mechanic. It's called Divine Skill. For all my buddy fight fans out there, it's just Overturn. It's just Overturn. It's a once per game skill that's supposed to be really cool and flashy. I'm hoping it's like a little like reversal, right? It can like put you back into the game. It can get you off the back foot and get you more in a good spot, right? And I hope that it's not overtrigger on a stick. Because if it's just an overtrigger on a stick, then we have problems and the game's just going to get even more snowbally and it's not gonna be fun. But if this is like a cool like once per game comeback mechanic, I am very here for it. I'm interested to see where this goes, but there are very large red flags of this going incredibly south. Knowing Bushy Road, this could end in disaster. But we're just gonna have to cross our fingers and say we are 2 for 3 on W's. Now for the first booster set of the format. There's gonna be some cool stuff in it. Obviously, we got the ORRs. We're reprinting a bunch of the overtriggers, so that's nice. So they're not $1 billion anymore. Very good. We got some rare PGs. But something you'll notice is the nationless triggers. Now, some people, most people are going to be like, what the heck are these supposed to do? And the answer is pretty much nothing. They're pretty much not going to do anything. Except for one thing, and that is make limited slightly more playable. You see, limited Vanguard has a ton of problems, but a big part of it is like triggers, right? Unless you're playing Extreme Fight, where you just put whatever you want into a deck, which sucks because then you're not drafting, you're just picking the best cards, and there's no point in signals, you don't have to flow through archetypes, and you don't really pick anything, you just pick the best card in the pack. It sucks. It doesn't work. Extreme Fight draft is terrible. But drafting triggers is like impossible. So now what you can do is you can just have a stack of Cray Elemental triggers on the side, so everyone drafts their main deck, and you just give them 4 of each trigger to slot into their deck, right? Maybe less than that, maybe do 3 of each trigger or something, I don't know. The math is weird. But I'm not convinced they are pushing limited because the packs are not built to support it. We still have like 7 card packs, which is not enough to draft with without buying. You have to do like 6-pack drafts, which is like not great. And honestly, I don't see Bushiroad designing for limited, so these Cray Elemental triggers are kind of weird. But hey, fingers crossed that they can give us a good, real limited environment. I'd be blown away if they managed to do it. I don't think they're going to be able to, but hey, this slightly gives me hope, because that's the only thing I can think about these triggers like mattering for. Like, why else do we have Cray Elemental triggers? There's literally no other point to having these. So, whatever, I guess. These are a thing. We're using the start decks as a teaching fight in the first episode. Sounds great. I expect nothing less. Very cool. Humongous W. We have banned a stupid mermaid mill loop thingy. I forget what the deck does, but I know it was stupid and loopy and dumb. And she's finally gone. Hooray for that. The even bigger dub is some rules changes. We have changed some of the rules. Now, instead of having your 50-card main deck with 4 of them being in your ride deck, you now instead have your 4 ride deck cards and a 50-card main deck. So we now, essentially what it means, we now have 4 more main deck slots. Is it gonna matter as much as a lot of people are saying? I don't know. I think some people might be jumping the boat on this one, going 4 whole slots. These decks are gonna get blown wide open. I don't don't know about that, but maybe. Only time will tell. The second rule change is that now, finally, if you win the die roll, you get to choose if you want to go first or second. Epic dub. This should have been a thing for a long, long, long time. Granted, there are many, many moments in Vanguard's history where you didn't care and you always want to go first, and going first was always better. There are a few situational decks. Some decks do care about going second, but it's nothing like Flesh and Blood, right? It's not like my deck falls apart going, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It's nice to be able to be like, I want to go second, but it's not like game breaking. Like, no deck is like, oh, this deck's so much better now that it can like choose to go second, right? Like, you don't really care. But something to keep in mind is that all of these rules and announcements are with a brand new series and format, a new era, which means that we could be getting a lot of cards designed specifically for these rules. So we might end up getting a lot of like go second decks. Like, we might end up with a lot of decks that want to go second and that play better going second. They can easily design for that now, because before everyone just went first, but now they can actually design for decks that want to go second, which I really, 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 really hope they do. And this is going to go down as yet another one of those potential W's if used properly. There's a lot of things revealed in this stream that are super, super cool, but man, it's going to be so easy for Bushiroad to just mismanage it and not like take full advantage of it, because like this could be really good, right? We could design going second decks, but are they going to do that? Who knows? Probably the biggest announcement is the new mechanic. Outside of the Divine skill, we have a whole new thing. We have a new crest called an energy generator. And what it is when you ride, you put it into your crest zone, which is now a new zone. So that's cool. And if you went second, you energy charge 3. What is energy, you're asking? Well, to put it short, it's a new resource. If you've played Magic the Gathering and you played in Kaladesh, it's just like energy in that game. It's almost identical. It's an additional resource. They give you this little tracker that everybody keeps saying is it's stealing from Digimon and the memory system, when it's not. It just looks the same. It's just a card with 10 spaces that you track in a line. That's literally it. It's just a mechanism for counting. It's not a memory gauge. It's just like an abacus, all right? Chill. It's not the same thing like at all. But you can have up to 10 maximum energy. At the beginning of your ride phase, you energy charge 3. So every turn you get 3 energy. And then as an act, once per turn, you can energy blast 7, which means you spend 7 energy to draw a card. So what this is a new resource, and cards are going to be able to use this resource. And the example of a card they gave us is a new elemental, was Light Elemental Popoa, who says, continuous Vanguard Rearguard, when you would ride from the ride deck, you may ride with Energy Blast 4 instead of choose a card from your hand and discard it. This is pretty cool. It opens up a lot of tech possibilities where like it's on Vanguard, so you can put this into your ride deck. If you're like, I want to conserve my hand size going into my grade 3 turn, I could put this on my ride deck, lose out on whatever grade 2 skill I have. Maybe your grade 2 skill like isn't very good. You can put this in the ride deck, play it, and be like, I'm just going to energy blast 4, ride my guy, and I'll still have some energy left over because I'm doing this on my turn 3, right? He also has a skill of auto. When he's placed on rear or put on guardian circle, you get energy blast 2, and he gets power plus 5k and shield plus 5k until end of turn. What I am personally hoping for this new resource system is that it becomes a new like soft resource, right? If Popoa is to show us like how this is going to be power scaled, where it's like 2 energy is equivalent to 5k, and God forbid we go back to the beginning of D, gain 5k power simulator. Ugh. Hated that. And like energy blast 4 lets you like not lose a card, right? And this shows how we're scaling energy. I'm super here for it. I think it should act as more of like a soft resource, sort of like the old grade 1 7ks that said counterblast 1 gain 1k. You're not spending one of your 5 money points per game on 1k. That's stupid, right? What this lets them do is it takes all of the skills like that are like really like small and incremental and like you don't really want to spend like your important resources on it. It gives them a resource to chuck into that, so you can be like, I want to gain a small incremental advantage here, right? I want to spend a little bit of energy here, kind of push myself a little. And now they can repurpose Counterblast as something a lot more important, right? Stop giving us a bunch of counter charges, right? Make it so like you have 5 points per game to spend. If you heal, you can get more, right? And then maybe have like a really convoluted counter charger, but for the most part, you have these 5 points you get to spend, and you have to spend them very, very carefully, right? And some skills that are really good are going to require like 2 of them. So you can use like 2 big skills and 1 little skill per game, right? And then we go back to this era of like counterblast being like super important. So like all of your like little incremental skills, like your cards like draw cards, you're going to put on energy. But everything that's like your overlord like restand skills, that's going to be all counterblast. If they do that, I think it's going to be amazing. The problem is if they just make this counterblast 2 electric boogaloo. It's like the equivalent of like pennies and dollars, right? Where it's like you can spend like big money on your big effects, and then you can, and like these cost cents, right? You can just kind of toss them out, right? I think that's great. The problem is if we just make it 2 whole dollars, and now we just have essentially 10 more counterblast, and we get to go ballistic. There's a universe where I'm okay with that, and we go back to like G era, and like everything draws cards, everything multi-attacks, everything does everything, and it's really, really cool and powerful and bombastic, but it's not like insane. If balanced properly, I'd be here for it, but I'd really like to see these being 2 very different resources, and then it being just like 10 more CB you get to spend. Something I also want to note, I tweeted about this, for those of you brewing with the Crest's ability to pay 7 to draw 1, stop. It's not an ability to brew around. What that is it's a way for you to use energy that you just don't have anything to spend it on. It's like if you have nothing better to do with your energy and you're just stockpiling it, you can burn 7 to draw a card, right? It's for like decks that like, my deck doesn't have any cards that spend energy. You still get value out of it. You still get a free card every 2 and 3 turns, right? That's what that's for. That's pretty much it. Everyone's getting in this huge debacle of like, they put out a ruling for the energy tracker. You can't track it with dice or counters. You have to use the official tracker. And people are like, I can't use dice. What if I lose my like special marble I use for the tracker? Oh, that's not what they said. What they're saying is you can't just take a D20, throw it on the table, and be like, I have 3 energy. You have to have like the actual tracker card. But if you have the card, you can still take a dice and put it on the number on the card. You just need to be tracking it with the card. You can't just be like, I'll spend my D20 to 9, and I have 9 energy now. You can't do that. But if for some stupid reason the card doesn't float your boat, they're also making energy cards. I don't know why you would ever use the energy cards when you have to be like, all right, I'll play my 3 energy cards every turn. I'm going to spend 4. All right, I'll get 3 back, and then I'll spend. And you're just like taking cards in and out of the board constantly. That sounds like a nightmare, and it's so obnoxious. And if you do build 10, that takes up so much space. Use the card, guys. Just use the card. Use the stupid energy card. It's not that hard. If I see one of you pull out a stack of 10 individual energy cards, I am going to lose my mind. Get the card. Just leave the card. It comes in all the starter decks. It's not that hard. Just please use the card. Just use the stupid card. But yeah, that's about it. That is the DivineZ stream. Honestly, I'm kind of excited. But granted, to be fair, I'm excited during every stream. During every stream, I'm always excited because they show you art and not what the art does. So I am cautiously holding out hope. Are we going to get to the day when they reveal the new lyrical tier element girl and she sucks balls? Probably. But until then, I can live in my little happy dreamland of Vanguard's finally getting fixed. Even though it probably isn't because it hasn't been fixed the last 6 times they've tried. But hey, maybe the 7th time's the charm. So if you like the Vanguard videos, be sure to let me know. Because this is a game that, while I hate it and think it's terrible, it's a game I've been playing for a long time and I have actual valid opinions on and can make decent content. So if you're really into the Vanguard content, let me know. I'll keep making it. And if you're like, no, Vanguard poo-poo stinky game, never touch it, I completely understand and I'll never talk about it again. But until then, I look forward to DivineZ release. Hopefully it's cool. I'm really holding out hope for this one. They're doing some cool stuff, but it's a little spooky because a lot of it could be really, really cool, but could also just as easily be really, really bad. Only time will tell. We're just going to have to wait and see what these cards do. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.